Hello and welcome to Joburg Today. My name is Dumi Tlapo, bringing you the best of what's going down in and around Johannesburg. The FNB Art Fair is a magnet for all contemporary artists, and this year they'll be focusing on East African art. With 2016 being its 9th year running, it promises to be bigger and better.
Having started with the vision of creating a marketplace for the Johannesburg community who are interested in collecting art, the FNB Joburg Art Fair has grown to have international appeal as it fosters a pan-African approach to art by receiving a vote of confidence from the financial sector.
You know, we are known as a very innovative bank, and artists are very creative, very imaginative, and I think they are actually the ones at the forefront of innovation, and that's why we saw this as a perfect fit for us to become involved with the FNB Joburg Art Fair.
It's traditionally what happens with art fairs. Financial services support them around the world. So it was only a matter of time that in South Africa we approached FNB to support us, and they've been an incredible sponsor for the last 9 years. I guess in the development of an economy for artists that didn't exist before.
From 37 exhibitors in 2014 to 80 this year, the fair promises a body of work that is more diverse and exemplary of the creative talent across Africa.
Our focus this year is on East Africa, as you mentioned, and that has come about because there's just such exciting work coming out of that part of the continent. Last year and in previous years, we've had a bit of a focus on practice in West Africa. So South African audiences have had more exposure to West African practice and South African practice, but less so when it comes to East Africa. So we have artists coming from Ethiopia, Sudan, Somalia, Uganda. It's a really good representation.
I think Johannesburg is like a magnet, and it is drawing like all of the really strongest and most exciting people. You know, people who really have things to work out and to work with. And I think when you have this concentration of people, it's inevitable that something incredibly powerful is going to come out. I don't know what that is, but I know that there are people who are dedicated and working incredibly hard in Johannesburg to own the future.
As a signature event in the city, it really is important. It's one of the leading art fairs in the country and the continent. And, we market Joburg not just as a business destination, which a lot of people perceive it as, but as an all-year-round global destination for everything from business to the arts to leisure and lifestyle. And on the leisure and fine arts scene, FNB is right up there. It's one of the most important shows and exhibitions on the continent.
The fair will be open from the 9th to the 11th of September at the Sandton Convention Center for your enjoyment. I'm Riley Posakwe for Joburg Today.
Like us on Facebook, joburgtoday.tv, and follow us on Twitter at Joburg Today. To mark his 10th year anniversary in the dance industry, dance champion Paul Modjadji will go to 10 African countries to scout for fresh talent. So do be on the lookout for that.
One of my favorite dancer, Paul Modjadji, will be touring the African continent to celebrate his 10th year anniversary in the dancing industry. So before he jets off, let's go check what he's busy with.
The Breaking Down Borders tour is my first Africa tour, believe it or not. I've traveled the world, but this is my first time going into Africa in person. And we look forward to it. We are visiting 10 countries this year, starting on the 24th of August with Zimbabwe, and we will be going from all the way down here to the upper north, like we're talking Senegal, Nigeria, Kenya. So we are going all over the continent.
Inspired by his work with the European Star Dance Union, Modjadji will use this tour as a means to scout for fresh talent in the continent to take part in the international competition.
We decided to do the Breaking Down Borders tour to basically unite Africans through dance. Dance is a very commonality that you find in most countries in Africa. You know, Africans dance. And we felt it was time that we tapped into that and used that as a language that could unite us. I was really keen to go and give back to the continent. I've given so many international workshops, but never really anything in my very own continent. As an international judge as well, a lot of the competitions that I judge, I find that there isn't enough representation from the African continent. So part of my efforts is to try and expose some of these dancers from the continent to my network internationally. So it's a cultural tour, it's a tourism tour. We want young people in South Africa to think of Africa differently, and we want to introduce Africa to Africans.
I've learned so much coming from Germany to South Africa, learning all these different dance styles, from Spuja to Pansula to Gambu dancing, Zulu dancing, all of these. So I can't even imagine how much the rest of Africa holds. So
While he was busy on the ground, I asked him to show me a couple of moves, and clearly I have 2 left feet. I'm Pomasheho for Joburg Today.
How's it? This is Dominic Oliver, and you're watching Joburg Today.
That's all for today. Do check out Leading Opinion with Nashina. From myself, Dumi Tlapo, and the Joburg Today crew, it's goodbye.